Welcome to 𝐄𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐂. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of 9:53 a.m. on Eastern Time on June 19th on Sunday. First, want to say happy Sunday, by the way, and also happy Father's Day for those that are on domestic front. And with respect to overall market this morning so far, the crypto side has rebounded, nicely, reaching up to two respective non-subset consolidator level. For Ethereum specifically, that's 850, which was the first level, 950, and right now we try to get up to the next flat number, 1050, if you may, right? But the real level we know we need to get up to, based on our technical analysis so far, is 1150, right? And on the future perspective, it's kind of a mixed bag. On a future perspective for Dow Jones, it's kind of flat, down about 0.13. S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, all up a little bit, about like 1% across the spectrum. And what's driving this rebound, kind of, if you may, not really due to any specific media affectation, but just more of a technical exercise as we got to a highly submerged level. Obviously driven by multiple different factors that we identified so far, right? Ever since on last Wednesday, the FOMC meeting, which Jerome Powell has confirmed the 75 basis point on the rate hike, and then what he foreshadowed on the next coming up one in July is going to be 50 basis point, right? So the market has already tried to bake in this negativity so far. But with respect to like some other negative catalysts or elements, is some other rumors saying that Coinbase might be on the verge of bankruptcy because of their, there might be some insolvency issues, that they might have to do a mass liquidation if they go bankrupt, obviously because of the fact that a lot of people like you and I are utilizing Coinbase's platform. So if they go bankrupt, it could be, like a lot of people could potentially lose their money because of their holding, because of the bankruptcy protection under Chapter 11. And also other companies, that are also initializing more layoffs coming. Like Coinbase, for example, I've already got confirmatory signal earlier today from a buddy of mine that worked in Coinbase in the strategy department that they plan on doing more layoffs coming. So the 18% layoff so far is just, old news now. I think it's going to be increased to a little bit more as they try to fight the inflationary pressure even further, during this correction, obviously, right? And also we saw the Revlon, which is a cosmetic giant company, they have filed Chapter 11 as well last week on Thursday. So a lot of negative news from corporate companies, right? Everybody's just trying to keep their roof over their head, try to survive, try not to bleed too much, to the point that there's no return, right? So definitely, doesn't convey confidence to people, right? And despite the VIX, which is the volatility index, kind of cooled down a little bit, we still have to see, what's going to be happening coming up on Monday, right? Because today's a Sunday, which the activity among the news side doesn't really come in so much until later on, around like 4:30 to 5 p.m. on the Eastern time. So this rebound, especially on the fact that we are still levitating in between levels, doesn't really convey a lot of confidence to us, right? It's either we go up all the way to 1150 and stay above there and consolidate from there, or we lingering in between. And every single time when we linger in between, the propensity of you going back down to the lower level is more likely than going back up, right? Because you basically try to get, punch it back up, the ceiling that you try to get up to. But you could see that, clearly we've been kind of levitating around the level below for the last 24 hours so far. So contingent on like real bullish, factors that's coming into the media front and the market front coming, in the next couple of days, we could potentially be more for a downtrend, knowing the fact that the overall macro downtrend is still on a decline, following the red line that we drew here, right? So let's just dive into technical to see what's happening right now, and respective recording time of approximately 10 a.m. on the Eastern time. Ethereum at the $1,027, which is basically $25 below the 1,050, right? You can see that clearly the next level we need to get up to is basically 1150, but you can see that right now we're not there yet, right? But something that's interesting is that we are forming this like W shapes, and you have basically resistance many times around like the 20 or 1950 out of 70. At the same time, the MACD looks like it's plateauing. So to see some sort of a rebound back up to the 1150, try to get up to the real level of 1250 can be a possibility. But then you have a long leap up to the next level of 1450. So is it possible that we might get some in the near future? We still have to see, right? Because we still about like how would you say, like about 15 days away from the next CPI report coming, and next 20 days away from the FOMC meeting. So if we don't hear any more negativity, or we actually hear some positive news coming, we could potentially get up there. But it could just kind of get canceled out as you get up to 1250 if we actually do have a shot of doing so. And then you just kind of give up again. So like just like you will have some pumps here and there, right? Because like even in the bear market, you will still have some buying pressure here and there as people try to predict the bottoms. But technically right now we are still trying to linger on. But on the in terms of like a swing trade perspective, I think right now it's not that terrible in terms of the risk versus reward ratio, if you may, right? Respect to Bitcoin, up about 1% so far. It's 19,000 right now. So like same thing, try to find a plateau, try to find a resistance level. We reach all the way to 1750, which is a 17,500, which makes sense because that's the resistance level. So right now with the C, right, can we go back up and recuperate, right? Because like next level going up would be around, like based on what we see so far, 22,500, and then we have a long way up to the 27 or 26,500 if you may, right? So it's a relatively large separation in between, right? For classic, up about 5% so far. All the flat numbers below, right? $14.50, $14, $13.50 respectively, all the levels down. It seems like it's recuperating nicely. And then for Dogecoin, up about 8% so far, at 55 right now. So basically all the levels down will be like 5, 4.5, 4, 3.5 respectively on intervals of 5s, right? Cardano is at 46 cents at the moment, like basically similar to all the other ones, right? Like 45, 40, 35 respectively. Solana, same thing. Well, not the same thing. I would say it's a little different for Solana. We are basically ping-ponging before, in between 25 versus 33. So again, in between levels, right? XRP is up about 2.5%, 31 right now. So all the flat numbers, right? 30, 25, 30, 20 respectively. Polkadot's up about 4.31% so far at 713. So 7, 6.5, 6, 5.5 respectively. Algorand's up about 2.22% so far at 30 cents. 30 cents, 25 cents, 20 cents, 15 cents respectively. Shiba Inu is up about 2% so far at 800 right now. So right now you can see that clearly we have bounced from 700 last night. Basically, all the flat numbers again, right? So 750, 800 respectively would be the level leap up all the way until we get back up to the horse of 1050, right? But the real level again, right, is 850, 1400, 2100 from the respective levels up that are real, MACTAX up 2% so far, like 35. Level down will be 30 cents, 25 cents respectively. AVAX up about 1% so far. We're $15 at the moment. So next level down $14.50, $14 respectively. Yeah. Okay, so it seems like we are trying to recover, but again, right, it doesn't seem that sustainable based on what we see so far. We're still in between levels, right? And we've seen this story many times, right? It's normal to see some sort of a recovery, right, in the short term, but overall we're still in a downtrend, right? So let's hope that this week will not be as negative as we were seeing in the previous weeks. So I'll keep an eye out on the later part of the day, and I'll report back. And appreciate you for joining me again. Have a good Sunday and a good Father's Day. Take care.